Hello and good evening. You're watching Express News with me, Nancy Kohli. Let's begin with the stories. The first session of the 17th Lok Sabha commences with Prime Minister Modi, who's also the leader of the House, taking oath as the member. Prime Minister Modi says that the role of the opposition is important and that they should not bother about their numbers in the Lok Sabha. Prime Minister Modi also expresses hope that there will be a constructive debate in Parliament, says the role of an active opposition is important in a parliamentary democracy. And after the Prime Minister, the oath was administered to Kodikonil Suresh, Bharati Mehtab and Bridge Bhushan Saran Singh. All three are on the panel of the presiding officers. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and Home Minister Amit Shah and Union Minister Nitin Gadkari also took oath as the members of the 17th Lok Sabha. BJP MP from Uttar Pradesh is Amethi, Smriti Zubin Irani and Shiromani Akali Dal MP from Bhatinda, Harsimrat Kaur Badal, took oath as the member of the 17th Lok Sabha. Union Ministers and BJP MPs Dr. Harshvardhan and Dr. Jitendra Singh also took oath as the members of the 17th Lok Sabha. Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan, the Minister of State Ashwini Kumar Chaubey and Pratap Chandra Sarangi take oath in Sanskrit. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi and Union Chemicals and Fertilizers Minister Sadanand Gowda, both hailing from Karnataka, took their oaths in Kannada. Congress MP Kodikonil Suresh from Kerala takes oath in Hindi as the member of the 17th Lok Sabha. Prime Minister Modi calls a meeting of the presidents of all the parties represented in the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha on the 19th of this month to discuss One Nation, One Election. The meeting has been called to discuss One Nation, One Election issue, the celebrations of the 75 years of India's independence in 2022 and 150 years of Mahatma Gandhi's birth anniversary this year. The meeting on the 19th of this month will be followed by a dinner meeting with all the MPs on the 20th to freely interact and exchange views with the government. In Jammu and Kashmir, an unidentified terrorist killed while two army personnel, including a major rank officer, were critically injured during the gunfight in the Yakinbal-Achabal area of South Kashmir's Anantnag district. The operation had been launched this morning following credible inputs about the presence of terrorists in the area. In West Bengal, the striking junior doctors of NRS and other state-run medical colleges and hospitals met the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee today. Supreme Court to hear the plea seeking security for government doctors across India tomorrow. The petition was filed in the Supreme Court on Friday in the wake of protests by the doctors in West Bengal against the assault on their colleagues. The doctors of the All India Institute of Medical Sciences in New Delhi joined the nationwide protest after a junior doctor at its trauma center was assaulted in the early hours today. The death toll due to acute encephalitis reaches 100 in Muzaffarpur and adjoining areas in Bihar. Over 350 children are undergoing treatment at various hospitals. The World Day to Combat Desertification and Drought is being observed today. The day is observed to raise awareness of the presence of desertification and drought, highlighting the methods of preventing desertification and recovering from drought. Union Minister for Environment, Forests and Climate Change Prakash Javadekar today released a COP14 logo in New Delhi to mark the occasion. The GST Council is likely to extend till 30th November next year the tenure of the National Anti-Profiteering Authority that deals with customer complaints regarding not receiving the tax cut benefits at its next meeting on the 21st of this month. The GST Council at its 35th meeting is also likely to consider a proposal to set up an appellate tribunal for the northeastern states and another one for all the union territories. The state-run engineering firm, the BHEL, has won two orders worth 800 crore rupees for setting up solar energy capacity of 200 megawatt, and with this its solar portfolio has touched 1000 megawatt mark. The Indian indices witnessed a sharp fall. At close, the Sensex was down 491.28 points at 38,960.79. The Nifty was down 148.40 points at 11,674.90. About 685 shares have advanced, 1,847 shares declined, and 126 shares are unchanged. The rupee traded flat at 69.81 per dollar versus Friday's close of 69.80. The gold edged up in futures trade, supported by a softer rupee and weak sentiment in the equity market. Celebrations underway in full swing ahead of the International Yoga Day this year. Prime Minister Modi in a tweet has urged people across the globe to join the Yoga Day programs in the respective countries. Prime Minister Modi also shared the photograph of people practicing yoga in many countries including France, South Africa, Zimbabwe, the Netherlands and the UAE. India's permanent representative at the UN, Saeed Akbaruddin, also shared the video of clips of UN diplomats practicing yoga ahead of the International Yoga Day. In Nepal, the Embassy of India in Kathmandu organized the yoga event at the base camp of Mount Everest, 17,600 feet above the sea level. Ahead of International Yoga Day, inmates at the Tihar jail performed yoga and also showcased asanas at an event in collaboration with the Morarji Desai Yoga Institute. The monsoon session of Maharashtra State Assembly, which also includes the budget presentation, begins today. Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis said 13 new bills will be tabled. Besides, 15 other pending legislations will be discussed. The meeting of state in charges of the BJP membership drive held at the party headquarters in Delhi. The president of the membership committee, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and senior BJP leader Ram Lal were also present. TMC Nowpara MLA Sunil Singh and 12 TMC councillors joined the BJP in the presence of BJP leaders Kailash Vijayvargiya and Mukul Roy. Scientists in Maryland and Burkina Faso, where children lost lives due to malaria, are working with genetically modified fungus that uses toxin in spider venom to kill the malaria mosquitoes. Social Welfare Department of Doda, Jammu and Kashmir distributed specially designed Scotties for disabled persons. The District Development Commissioner Dr. Sagar was the chief guest of the function. Scientists in New York have developed a virtual biopsy device that can quickly and non-invasively determine whether a skin tumor is cancerous and needs to be removed surgically. Microblogging site Twitter has announced that it will be bringing back the Twitter to Mac with the help from Apple's Project Catalyst Pro, which is Apple's initiative to help developers port their iOS apps into Mac. Instagram is making it easier to recover the hacked accounts. Instagram's first new feature will make it easier for you to sign in and reclaim your account if it has been hacked. Facebook is set to unveil a bid to bring cryptocurrency payments into the mainstream, reportedly with the endorsement of the governments and financial giants. According to a new study in Washington, D.C., the drugs prescribed to control epilepsy in pregnant women with migraine pain, bipolar disorders are likely to deliver babies with the birth defects like spina bifida and cleft lip. French President Emmanuel Macron visited Paris Air Show on its opening day today, where he attended a flight demonstration by various aircraft. He was accompanied by the French Defense Minister. At the air show, the French Defense Minister and the German Defense Minister and the Spanish Defense Minister Maria Margarita Robles signed an accord launching a trilateral framework of a project to design a next-generation fighter jet. Dassault Aviation and Airbus are likely to build a warplane which is expected to be operational from 2040 with a view to replacing Dassault's Rafale and Germany's Eurofighter over time. Dassault and Airbus have delivered a joint industrial proposal to the governments of France and Germany. Protesters today returned to streets in Hong Kong to take part in a demonstration to state their dissatisfaction at the Chief Executive Carrie Lam's recent decision to suspend a controversial law which would allow extradition to mainland China. Hong Kong democracy activist Joshua Wong today walked free from prison after serving nearly 5 weeks for the contempt of court, pledging to join a mass protest movement demanding that the city's Beijing-backed leader Carrie Lam step down. Amid chaos, China said it will continue to support Hong Kong's embattled leader Carrie Lam after 2 million protesters took to the streets with a demand for her to step down on the weekend. The U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in an interview said that the U.S. is considering a full range of options, including military options regarding rising tensions with Iran. Mike Pompeo said that President Donald Trump does not want to go to war. Tensions intensified between U.S. and Iran after Iranian Parliament Speaker Ali Larijani alleged that the U.S. could be behind the suspicious tanker attacks in the Gulf of Oman to pile pressure on Tehran. The U.S. had accused Iran of being behind the attacks after they took place in the Gulf of Oman. The second round of voting is likely to take place on 11th August to choose a new president of Guatemala, as none of the 19 candidates expect to win outright majority. The Guatemalans yesterday voted for a new president who will face the challenge of curbing drug gang violence that has ravaged the country and helped spur illegal immigration to the U.S., stoking tensions with the president Donald Trump. Power has been restored to much of Argentina and Uruguay after a massive electrical failure left tens of millions of people in the dark. Argentina's president has promised a full investigation. The massive blackout left more than 44 million people without electricity in Argentina and Uruguay after an unexplained failure in the neighboring countries' interconnected power grid. The public transportation has been halted, shops closed, and patients dependent on the home medical equipment were urged to go to hospitals with generators. The London-Shanghai Stock Connect was officially launched today in London. With this, the companies listed in Britain will be able to sell shares in China. In this, Shanghai-listed companies will be able to raise new funds via London stock market. Launching Stock Connect's first day of trading, the British Finance Minister Philip Hammond called it a chance of deepen growing connectivity of financial markets. The Syrian Foreign Minister meets Chinese Vice President in Beijing during part of his 6-day visit to China. The leaders of both the nations hold bilateral talks. He will also be meeting his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi on Tuesday as part of his visit from 16th to 21st of this month. Several hopefuls vying to replace British Prime Minister Theresa May in a TV channel interview turned their fire on Boris Johnson, questioning his pledge to leave the European Union by the end of October no matter what. Johnson was not present in the debate. Sudan's former President Omar al-Bashir has been charged with corruption-related offences as he appeared in public for the first time since he was overthrown in April. He's been in prison since 11th April after the military overthrew him following 16 weeks of protests against his 3-decade rule. German Chancellor Angela Merkel's conservative Octavian Ursu won a runoff vote for the mayor of which is a small town in the east of the country, beating the anti-immigration Alternative for Germany party. The head of the Brazilian Development Bank's president quits after far-right Brazilian President Bolsonaro threatened to sack him, fueling a political crisis. In Syria, around 12 civilians were killed in a rocket fire in a regime-held village in northwestern region. The state news agency Sana has blamed former Al-Qaeda affiliate Hayat Tahrir al-Sham of being behind the attack. 8 people were killed after a boat carrying migrants sank off Turkey's western coast. The search and rescue operations were launched by the Coast Guard, in which 31 have been rescued so far. The Pakistan military has appointed Lieutenant General Faiz Hamid as the new Director General of its spy agency, the ISI, replacing the agency's current head, Lieutenant General Asim Munir, after only 8 months on the job. 2 Italians accused of posing as US actor George Clooney to promote a fashion business have been arrested in Thailand after years on the run. 58-year-old Francisco Galdili and 45-year-old Vanja Goffi have been wanted on an Interpol red notice since 2013. The World Health Organization and Uganda health officials have begun distributing Ebola vaccinations to people after a 3-year-old boy was confirmed to be suffering from the disease. The fatal disease has already claimed 2 lives in the country. France's most famous orangutan delighted the zoo visitors as she relished her strawberry cake and exotic fruits in celebrations of her 50th birthday. She's not an ordinary orangutan. She's the oldest resident of the zoo in Paris, where the Borneo-born ape arrived as a 3-year-old in 1972. Top seeds Mahesh Mangaonkar and Joshna Chinnappa lived up to their billing to emerge the men's and women's national champions at the 76th Senior National Squash Championship in Pune. Rohan Bopanna missed out on winning his second title of the season, ending runners-up at the ATP Mercedes Cup with partner Denis Shapovalov. The unseeded Indo-Canadian combo lost by 7, 3-6 to top seeds Bruno Soros and John Pierce in the final. Luis Suarez and Edinson Cavani were on target as Uruguay thumped 10-man Ecuador 4-0 in their opening Group C match at the Copa America. Pulalim Kuki scored 13 minutes from time as Asian champions Qatar hit back from 2-0 down to earn a 2-all draw with Paraguay at the Copa America. Colombia laid down a statement of intent in their opening Copa America clash, defeating Lionel Messi's Argentina 2-0 in the coach Carlos' first competitive match in charge. Ukraine collected 7 gold medals at the 3-day FINA Artistic Swimming World Series Super Final after claiming the last 2 titles on offer. Ukraine came first in the Super Final overall, while Canada topped the overall ranking based on results obtained over the whole season. Indian pacer Bhuvneshwar Kumar has been ruled out of at least the next 2 World Cup games after developing a niggle in his left hamstring during the clash against Pakistan. Rohit Sharma added another feather to his cap by scoring over 50 runs in 5 consecutive ODIs for India. He joins the likes of Sachin Tendulkar, Ajinkya Rahane and Virat Kohli. The Indian all-rounder Vijay Shankar, who took a wicket on his first ball in the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup match against Pakistan on Sunday, opined that all-round performance is very important for him. England captain Ewan Morgan is hopeful he and opener Jason Roy will be able to play against Afghanistan on Tuesday, despite both leaving the field through injury during the win over West Indies. And after losing the match with India yesterday, Pakistan captain Sarfaraz Ahmed has reconciled with the fact what they were a better team than India in the 90s, and now the tables have turned around. Gary Woodland won the 119th US Open on Sunday, capturing his first major title with a 13-under par total to deny the 2-time defending champion Brooke Koepka's bid for history at the Pebble Beach. Former world number 1 Maria Sharapova is expected to make her return after more than 3 months with an injury. Sharapova has been sidelined since February after having surgery on a long-standing shoulder injury which has troubled her since 2008. Iran extended their winning run at the 3rd competition week of the men's 2019 Volleyball National League to 8 matches as Igor's team had already seized 7 wins against Italy, Germany, China, Argentina, Japan, Canada and Poland. The Russian anti-doping agency says it plans to file doping cases against 33 athletes from a range of sports for using banned treatments from a doctor. Bollywood celebrities bring glitz and glamour at the red carpet of Miss India this year, with the famous actors marking their presence donning various designer outfits. Filmmakers, artists, members of the LGBT community and others celebrated International Queer Film Festival in Mumbai. The festival is marked by various dance performances holding the spirit of oneness. Sudarshan Patnaik, a Padma Shri awardee and internationally recognized sand artist, created 20 feet long sand using sand on which is inscribed Abhinandan Team India to congratulate the Team India on its victory over Pakistan. The UNHCR Special Envoy Angelina Jolie visits the Venezuelan border as millions flee crisis. She had a joint sitting with the refugees taking stock of their living conditions. Older adults with insufficient vitamin K are likely to be at a higher risk for mobility disability, that's according to a new research. Spending time in nature can boost your overall well-being, but how much exposure is needed? Well, a new study concludes that 2 hours each week is enough to reap the benefits, though significant questions still remain. Food and similar nutrition labels can have very different effects on gut microbes. Research has found a healthy human gut microbiome includes a wide variety of diverse bacteria. Experts say that there is no firm evidence that supplements can improve the memory or cognitive skills as people get older. A large new study has examined the effects of vitamin D on a diverse group of adults and found that no evidence that this supplement can prevent type 2 diabetes. Starting school later in the morning helps teens get their homework done. The sleep and overall well-being for teens also improve, according to a research. Canada stated that the transmission of hepatitis C virus from mothers to babies can be prevented. Basic online shopping interventions can lead customers into buying healthier foods. The recent findings have suggested altering the default order in which foods are shown on the screen could help customers make healthier choices when shopping for food online, it also suggested. Seeking new treatments to slow the progression of Alzheimer's disease, researchers have found that certain blood pressure drugs increase blood flow to the brain's memory without affecting other parts of the brain. Some drugs prescribed to control epilepsy in pregnant women with migraine, pain and bipolar disorder may cause birth defects in babies delivered. A new study has found the birth defects include spina bifida and cleft lip. Researchers say that sleeping with a light or television on puts women at a higher risk of becoming overweight or obese. And that's all we have for you in this edition of the news. But for all the latest news and updates around the clock, you can always follow us on Twitter and YouTube. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at DD News Official. And with that, it's a wrap. Thanks for being with us.